Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the next edition of the Montgomery Group series of webinars. Thank you very much for attending. It's great to see that we have nearly 100 here, which is fantastic. We've just got to wait a few more minutes just to allow more people to join. The idea is that if everyone works African time, we've got to let them all come in. So we're just going to wait a few minutes, but whilst we do that, to save sitting in silence, I thought I'd ask Dennis, who's one of our speakers here, just a couple of questions, just as an icebreaker to set the scene slightly. So Dennis, can I ask how your life has changed during the lockdown with COVID and everything, and where you are as opposed to where you would be normally?
With my life, it hasn't really, it has changed, but not really too much, because most of what we have been doing is more on the prototyping side of 3D printing. We have been dealing with STEM kits, learning STEM kits for the kids. But with the COVID-19, it has had us to have a paradigm shift in now starting to come up with new ideas so that we can deal with the COVID pandemic that we're having right now. So we are seeing more of the PPEs being people prototyping the PPEs in the country, or actually in the world, not just in the country. So I think we are still there. The 3D printing guys are the word is now going out.
Good. And you're based. You're at the moment. Whereabouts are you sat?
Yeah.
Are you based in Nairobi?
Nairobi, yeah, in Nairobi. But our warehouse is in Thika. It's in Kiambu County.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are up and down.
Up and down around. Great.
Yeah.
Great. And Faith, I know we have you. I wonder if you can toggle your video on. I'm not sure if you're able to toggle that. It was just nice to say hi to you in person.
I'm actually trying to get the video, navigating through these buttons. I hope I managed to get one.
Okay.
My name is Faith Ngige. I am the new Plastics Economy Project Coordinator in Kenya. My life, as far as COVID is concerned, COVID has kind of impacted my mobility because I am working from home. Normally, I go to work in an office, but as a result of COVID, I can't go to the office, so I have to work from the house. And what that meant is that I had to create a working space in my house. It looks simple, but yes, very important.
Yeah.
And I am having this new mode of interacting with people, and I am having more global interactions more than before, using this particular mode of interacting, the Zoom, the one we are using now, Crowdcast, Google Chat. So more of the way of interacting has actually changed, but in a way I like it because it makes it easy for me to reach boundaries and not easily reached before.
Okay, great. Faith, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove you and re-add you as a speaker just so that we can get your video linked through. I'm not sure how you turn it off, but if you start again with your video, that'd be great. And I can introduce everyone from now. So I'm just going to close you and then re-add you in. So if you can just bear with me 1 second. Let's re-add you. But for everyone else, I think we'll get going. We'll get started. As I said, my name is Alexander. I'm myself based at the moment in a little place called Northamptonshire in England. We, as the Montgomery Group, are exhibition organisers, and we run big trade shows around the world. So you can kind of imagine this is a time to be running large-scale international events. We're based in London. We're also based in Nairobi, where we have offices there. So what we've decided to do whilst this pandemic is ongoing is run a series of webinars where we can hopefully unite the industry and keep serving our world, keep nurturing the relationships that we have, and hopefully develop some opportunities for yourselves as people within the industry. So we had our first webinar last week. That was very successful, and we learned all about kind of how closed loop packaging chain in plastics is changing over the COVID-19 situation. And this week we have 3 speakers who are talking on packaging and printing solutions for COVID-19 through 3D printing. The 3 speakers we have are Mr. Dennis Munga, who's the co-founder and CEO of DB3D. We have Ms. Faith Ngige, who works for KEPSA, the Kenya Private Sector Alliance. And we have Farai, and I'm going to mispronounce his name, and I'm sorry for my Englishness, but Mashambanhaka. Yeah. Dennis, you might be able to read.
I do not know.
Yeah, he's the managing director at Africa Engineering Company, and we're still waiting for him to join in, but he's speaking third, so that should be absolutely fine. Just a few little bits of housekeeping, just very quickly. There's a bottom menu at the bottom of this platform that allows you to ask questions. So please do post some questions. Please do kind of your thoughts there so that we can answer at the end. There's a poll that we can ask, and if anyone has any of the speakers have any pertinent polls that they would like to kind of put forward, we can put those through. And there's also a chat function on the right-hand side, so please do add in any chat, comments, or opinions on the right-hand side, and we can either throw those into the questions, the speakers kind of hear from them, and we can kind of interact. There's also a cog at the bottom of the screen. Now that cog enables you to slightly change your video settings. Depending on your internet connection, it might be good for you to be at a lower video resolution, so something like 360. If the noise or the video or things are too slurry or too distorted, then you can raise that to 720. But we suggest having a lower setting just to make sure your internet is able to stream this as efficiently as possible. And then the final thing is that we're expecting this to last around 20-30 minutes or so. 10 minutes with 3 presentations each, and then some questions at the end. So do think up some questions, and we can hopefully get the best answers from our esteemed panel. So yeah, I mean, we're just going to kick off now. Faith has just dropped out, but I'll just re-add her. I'm not sure why, but Faith, perhaps once I re-add you, I could ask you to kick off things. But if you just bear with me 1 second, Faith will just come back in any second, and then we can get carried away. Let's just quickly see. I'm not sure what the issue there was, but there we go. Faith, so this is over to you. If you've got about 10 minutes to talk. So I'm going to focus in on your beautiful face, and we can get going.
Thank you very much. I have the privilege of presenting what I have termed as the circular approach for printing and packaging solutions for COVID-19. Why I have chosen the idea of the circular approach is because the new plastics economy is a global call to action that was launched in the year 2018 to try and address the root cause of plastic pollution. For a long time, we have thought like cleanups is the best way to deal with plastic waste. However, it has proved like it is not, because the amount of plastic waste that lies in the environment and even in the ocean is too much. And as a result, the global call to action, as the new plastics economy, was initiated. The new plastics economy by itself has 6 priorities, packaging priorities, as follows. 1, that it is important to eliminate all the problematic and unnecessary plastic packaging through redesigning and innovation. It is also important to move from single-use plastic to reuse models, and where it is important, we can ensure that there's need for reusing of the packaging. That it is also important that all plastic packaging is 100% reusable, recyclable, or compostable. All plastic packaging, if possible, should be 100% reusable, recyclable, or compostable. I've repeated that. And that at the end of the day that we should use plastic fully and decouple it from consumption of the finite resources. For this reason, it is important that we have what you call a full life cycle assessment of our production systems and ensure that we are reducing all negative environmental impacts from the life cycle of a plastic product. In Kenya, the new Plastics Economy Partnership was initiated through the Partnering for Green Growth and Global Goals in Kenya in 2018. And what we're doing in this partnership is to pilot a business model for recycling of PET bottle waste within Kenya, and also to innovate products that are very innovative using the 3D technology. Why did we choose to initiate this project? It's because we realized that in Kenya, most of the recycling, actually the products, either the pellets or the flakes, go outside the country. And there's very little market for the use of the recycled plastic within Kenya. And for that reason, that is why we initiated the project. We also had the benefit of having both the large corporates and the startups. That is like the DiscoverBrands that we're having today in this forum, to be able to be connected so that we are able to link the youthfulness of innovation together with the long-standing frameworks of well-established organizations like Coca-Cola, and also be able to be supported by very important organizations such as KEPSA that has really played a very key role in policy frameworks, and also supported by the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, the development partners, that is the Danish Embassy, PETCO, which is a newly voluntary extended producer responsibility in Kenya, the Basic Group, KCIC, Kenya Climate Innovation Center, RETRAC, the Retail Traders Association of Kenya, Kiambu County, and Nairobi County. So what we do is that we ensure that the manufacturers are rethinking the design of their packaging. We have witnessed that composite packaging is very complex for recycling. It can look as simple as the top, but it can complicate the whole recycling process. So we are imploring upon our manufacturers to rethink how they are designing their packaging so that they make it easy for recyclability. We're also looking at the retail chain through RETRAC, because consumers interact with producers through the retail framework. And therefore, RETRAC is very, very significant in entrenching good behaviors in the consumers, as well as acting like take-back scheme points, so that the products come back to the producers. We also have the consumers themselves. We need to change our mindset. This project has, at a personal level, has changed how I viewed waste before. We have the recyclers, and we have the products themselves. So this cycle must be able to work for us to be able to realize a circular system for packaging in Kenya. But when we started our journey, we realized we had a lot of barriers within the regulatory framework. And for the last 2 years, we have spent our efforts trying to create a fair environmental framework in Kenya that is through the Sustainable Waste Management Policy and Bill. And I am glad to say that by yesterday, the ministry also was able to give us extended producer responsibility regulations that will go a long way in be able to entrench what you're trying to achieve. We've also realized research and development is very, very important. There is a research taking place at Nairobi University through the Tech for Trade, one of our partners. And it's interesting just to watch the pelletizing, the extrusion process that is happening there. Capacity building has been key. We've been exposed to new skills in Denmark, most of us in the partnership, and this has really helped raise our vision and our horizon of what you're trying to achieve. The machines, the capital outlay, and the equipment required has equally been a journey that we have found ourselves into when you're trying to create these solutions. So what are the packaging solutions for COVID? One, that it is important that we have a very favorable policy environment. When the lockdown began in Kenya, waste management was part of the essential services. And the new Plastics Economy Partnership was at the forefront to remind government that waste management cannot be delayed until later. It must continue. And we are glad that that was listened to. Sustainable consumption and production must continue. The fact that we have COVID at the moment does not mean we heap our waste until next time. Production is going on, consumption is going on. It must be sustainable. Eco-design of packaging and products must continue. We must be able to move from single-use to reuse models. I am glad that initially the masks in Kenya were worrying because most of them look like single-use. But over time, we've seen innovative people coming in and be able to give us masks that are 100% reusable. Homegrown solutions are coming up. And what a better opportunity to be able to provide our own homegrown solutions than never before. We are glad to be part of people who will be working on the secondary market for recycled products. The digital transformation has happened. I cannot emphasize more. I am able to interact with you right now through this digital platform. Innovation is happening. The prototype has happened. Dennis will speak more to it. Packaging for circularity and innovation is our lifeline now and post-COVID. The interconnectedness of the world, COVID has just shown us that we are interconnected. We must work together, we must collaborate, and the circular chain must work. It's been a pleasure presenting to you this morning. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Faith. We do have our additional speaker now who I can add in. So I will do that. Farai is speaking next, is that right? So I will add him in right now. And we can hopefully he will jump into the view in any one time. So everyone can bear with for a few seconds, and here we are, Mr. Farai. Welcome.
Yes, how are you? Yes, my apologies for coming in. I think I missed the time. I forgot Kenya is a bit ahead in terms of the time difference. So all along I was thinking 11:30, 12. Zim time.
Zim time, indeed.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Everyone's knowledge, Farai is coming from Zimbabwe, beaming in from Zimbabwe, which is great. So yeah, we've heard from Faith, which is fantastic. And we've got a bit of a time for now. So Farai, introduce yourself firstly, very quickly, and then kind of we can hear what you have to say, really.
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak to you. My name is Farai Mashambanhaka. I'm a mechanical engineer by profession based in Zimbabwe. I currently work on 3D printing projects and product development projects. I run my own firm, self-employed, and this is my first time to be on a webinar, so I'm quite happy to be on this platform. I also write online articles for 3dprint.com or 3dprint, and interesting articles on 3D printing. So I look forward to be of great service and help to you in this seminar.
Great. Well, thanks, Brian. Nice to meet you. I think if you just carry on with your 10-minute presentation, that'd be great.
I think it's my turn.
Oh, is it you, Dennis? Sorry.
Yeah, it is. It is my presentation.
Apologies. Thank you. Dennis, second. We're saving Farai to last. Okay. Great. Well, Dennis, sorry, I overcomplicated things. If you can, your turn to speak. Yeah, over to you.
Okay.
So I should share my my screen.
That's correct. So Dennis has a presentation he's going to share. For everyone's reference, whilst Dennis is doing this, this is pre-recorded, so you'll be able to access this afterwards. And then any presentations that are shared, I'm sure you'll be happy. The presenters will be happy to share it. So we can arrange that afterwards, and we'll be able to circulate those details. There we go. Brilliant. All right, Dennis, should I make this large then? And
yeah,
you can.
Let me move the other one.
Brilliant. There we go. All over to you, Dennis.
Yeah, so as you heard, I'm Dennis Micheni, the CEO of 3D print, the DB3D, and we do recycling through the circular economy project. We recycle the PET bottles. The PET is the soda and water bottle that we usually use into 3D printing filament, this strand, which is the raw material for 3D printers. So currently the functions for 3D printing are in education, manufacturing, rapid prototyping, but mostly currently we are seeing a lot of healthcare in the PPEs, in the making of the PPEs around the country, around the world. Our process, as Faith was talking to us, she couldn't show us at least what the real things on the ground will look like on the physical side. We start by collecting, sorting, and cleaning. That is done by Petco Kenya and Githurai neighbors. Then it is flaked and it's flaked and turned into 3D printing filament, which is the raw material for the 3D printers. This is done by Tech for Trade. Then we also convert our e-waste into e-waste 3D printers, which you can see down here. For the end products that we make for the new plastics economy, we work on the ECD STEM kits, curriculum-based STEM kits, and we are working closely. We are partnered with the county government of Kiambu, and they are helping us in the warehousing, curriculum development, technology transfer and training, and also the end market product. So that's where we sell them. We sell the end products that we make. We also partnered with Innovation Center, and they help us in the business model, in the product development, market research, and testing. We have also been working very close to the Kenya Bureau of Standards in making the quality assurance, and also we are coming up with the ISO certifications for 3D printing, which we do not have currently in the region. And we're also working with KICD, the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development. This is to help us have the curriculum development assessments and certification for our products, for our end products. Now everybody is working on PPEs. Everybody is working on 3D printing technology and COVID-19. And this is due to a lot of disruptions that have come in the market, such as shortage. There are people who are washing and selling the PPEs, which is a very dangerous idea for anybody who tried to think about it. And there's also the pollution of the environment. These are the problems highlighted. So on our side, we are looking at the 3D printing farm approach. This is whereby instead of using 1 or 2 3D printers for prototyping, you use 10, 20 machines so that you can do mass production. And the advantages of 3D printing farm are fast production of the end products. There is the easy scalability. There is the production flexibility. Production flexibility is whereby you can make one product, then change into another product immediately by just a touch of a button. And there's also affordability, since most of our printers make the other printers. So like this one is a part of our other 3D printer made from a printer, from another 3D printer. And for our feasibility study, we are looking to work on the reusable face shield visor, which is a minimalist design. It's easy to print, it's easy to assemble, and we can also quantify it in tonnage, because we know that one ton of PET bottles can make up to 20,000 face shields, which is a good number and can help the economy and the people who are using them. The face shield visors will be used by mostly the vulnerable population, who are our medical practitioners, the wholesalers and the retail traders, the people in the supermarkets, our essentials actually. And also for the general public, because it still helps in the spread, since most of the PPEs don't cover the eyes. This one helps to cover the eye. Yeah. So what we have been working on of late since the COVID, we have been in a lot of communities, in a lot of online communities, global communities, Africa communities. This is an example of one of them. It's a hackathon called the Africa versus Virus. We were around 15,000 participants from different countries, different areas, different professionalities. You can see the organizers, mentors, developers, designers, challenge owners. So out of the 3,000 solutions that were applied, we had to cut them down to 300 solutions. So one of our solutions, our main solutions was the NMR 3D and AMA 3D, which we were able to merge my product and another product from Zambia. Then we came up with the NMR 3D project. The community also helps us in creating design open source file databases, so that we can download the free designs. And there is also the online communities. We also opened a couple of online communities for 3D printing. For the impacts, there is the reduced contagion. This is due to the availability of the PPEs. There is the youth empowerment, since there will be a lot of job security for the production chain of the people who are producing, cleaning the PETs before we even convert them, even the 3D printers. There is the reduced prices, since the country will now be self-reliant, and there is the environment which we are looking at, whereby we reduced the CO2 emissions. This is another project that we are working on with a partner, which is, I don't know why it's not. This one does not play, but that's another prototype we are working on, which is the Qtron vent. Qtron is the one who also is the one who makes our Qtron 3D printer, and we're also working together, supporting each other in what we can do during this pandemic. For our post-COVID, we will continue making our STEM kits, and of course also launch our online platform, so that we can work with these crazy times that are coming up. We do not know what next, so probably we'll be having online classes at home. And I think I'm done. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Dennis, for that. I'll just close your screen share so we can all come back. That's really interesting. It's great how you're kind of evolving with the times in a very quick rate. That's like much needed. Right, moving on to Farai. Yeah, thank you, Dennis, and Farai, looking forward to, you've already introduced yourself, obviously. So looking forward to what you have to say.
Okay, great. I'm just going to be doing a presentation. I don't have slides. I'll just be speaking as we proceed. I'm going to be touching on just three key issues. First of all, it's going to be the overview of 3D printing in Africa, with its strengths, challenges, and how it relates to the 3D printing global landscape. Then I'll also touch upon the impact of 3D printing on the African healthcare system. And then I finish off with the COVID-19, an opportunity to integrate Africa and the global 3D printing solutions. Okay, so the overview of 3D printing in Africa, we think that it's still considered to be in its infancy, despite the immense opportunities and the great potential. 3D printing is still an unexplored territory and underutilized. So Africa really needs to embrace the technology in totality to be able to embrace it. We're still a bit slow, despite the strides that are there. I think we're comparing to the global landscape, we're still a bit behind, but we are getting there. And it is our hope that probably even the life after the COVID-19, it will be an opportunity for us to fully embrace the technology. We have strengthened the ready market in Africa. There's a very ready market for the technology. We also have got the great entrepreneurial spirit and enthusiastic creative minds, which I think they are willing to offer homegrown solutions. And we also got the people who are willing, who got the willingness to learn and adapt the new technology, especially the young generation. And the abundant recycling materials are good for 3D printing material. So that's actually part of the strength that I think Africa has. The challenge really is the funding, and also a greater part of the African populace not believing in its own solutions. And we really are yet to really yet to appreciate our own solutions from within the continent. We also have the problem with our government not up to speed to embrace latest technology, which can help them solve problems and industrialize. I think the also challenge with our government and our institutes are how we prioritizing our issues. Prioritizing challenge may be due to poor governance or lack of strategy. It's difficult to tell somebody who's not having something to eat to try to embrace some technology. I think that's the kind of thing that you get in Africa, while it's still necessary. But the territory is untapped, and a good opportunity to establish business and markets, which I hope we're going to be doing with the life after the COVID-19. The impact of 3D printing on the African healthcare system, it's a very positive impact due to the fact that the technology offers what we call remote related solutions. Most of our hospitals and clinics or the healthcare facilities are quite remote from cities. 3D printing actually helps to be able to offer a solution wherever they are, not limited to their geographical location or dispersion. There's an opportunity for customizing real-time solutions, which I think has been the strength of the technology. You need a real-time solution and you need it customized. So 3D printing can also help that in our healthcare system. There's an opportunity for affordable medical components and tools, which I think is one of the most important things considering the economic situation and challenge that Africa faces. Being capable of creating medical components and tools that are affordable and that are also not a health risk can be very possible with 3D printing. You actually realize that we've got quite a number of organizations who are coming up with antimicrobial filaments, which are actually health conscious and good for our healthcare system. These antibacterial, as far as I'm concerned, these antibacterial filaments are really the way to go for us to be able to come up with these medical tools and medical components for our African healthcare systems, because they don't pose a health risk and they're actually good. I recommend them for medical components and tools. Also with homegrown solutions, we really need homegrown solutions. So that's how our African healthcare system can benefit. COVID-19, this is the last part. The COVID-19 is an opportunity to integrate Africa and the global 3D printing solutions. I think COVID-19 has given an opportunity for Africa and the world to relate, because there's promoted oneness. So solutions which are being identified and which are being put in place are not only limited to Europe or to the Western, but they are for the whole globe, because this has been a global pandemic. It has promoted oneness and actually drives people to generate and provide solutions in totality and encompassing everybody on the globe. You can also see that we are sharing. There's a platform where the 3D printing community is actually sharing their models and prototypes for everybody to have access to them. So which is, I think, a very important factor. And this is the necessary step for us to be enrolled and for Africa now to actually embrace the technology and to be adopted on the global landscape in terms of solutions and implementation of the technology. So I think in a nutshell, this is basically just the short presentation that I had. I think I'm now ready for yeah.
Great, and Farai, can I commend you on your focus with obviously your children or in the background? I think we're all in a state situation, working from home and having the distraction of one's home life. So I must commend you on staying very focused whilst there was obviously some children running around, which is where we are in this world that we are. Well, thank you both, and Faith, for speaking. I'm just going to try and add Faith back in, just so that she can participate hopefully in the questions. So I'll just try and add her in. We've got a few questions, but can I ask if there are participants who would like to ask questions? There is a space at the bottom of the page where you can ask questions or rank them as if there are any that are suitable that you quite like. The first one I have is really which goes to I'll say to Dennis. What's the biggest change in the industry as a result of COVID-19 that you come across?
Hello, I can't hear.
So Dennis, what's the biggest change in the industry as a result of COVID-19?
In the industry of 3D printing industry?
Yes.
Currently, it has led to a big shift of people trusting and trying to use the technology itself due to its flexibility. Most of the, let's say, production sense, in the fact that in case I have a problem, let's say this phone, with this phone that I have right now, if I want to make like a phone cover, it only takes a matter of me going to design the phone and to design the case, then use the case for the phone. In other words, it's a very simple technology in the fact that the flexibility and the scalability, it's quite an easy task, upway task, and it has also helped us when it comes to the e-waste side of our work, since nobody could really understand what 3D printing was earlier before until now that we are using it. People used only to see not the physical part of it. They only heard about the design work of the 3D printing. But now, since we can make tangible stuff for them, they can see it. They can really see it and really work with it.
Yeah, can I also add on just a bit on that? I think one of the biggest changes that I've noticed with the issue of COVID-19 in the 3D printing is we are now able to share our designs and models for immediate use without issues of patents and legal issues, because we wanted to address an urgent crisis. So that alone has actually promulgated the issue of sharing, which I think is going to be quite key in the process for 3D printing in the immediate future, where we may face limitations in terms of issues of patents and legalities whenever we're going to be able to solve problems. So that alone, that sharing of information, regardless of geographic boundaries, is a very important change within the industry.
Great.
Yeah, it also helps us working remotely.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then there's a question from a gentleman called Adam. How can designers get involved in creating packaging from PET? How can designers get involved in creating packaging from PET?
In 3D packaging?
Yes.
In 3D packaging from PET?
Yes.
Also, that one goes to the model whereby we use the packaging, which is the PET bottles that we are currently using as our raw material, so that we can make our end product, our raw material. Instead of now going to the landfills, we are able to use that PET to be able to make our end products. Now the PPEs and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And then I have one more question here from a person called Milind. How can you help industries with guidance on developing 3D prototyping and sourcing the required equipment and consumables? I guess that's a question in terms of your assistance. Are you able to offer assistance in guiding companies to develop prototyping?
Projects from 3D printing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all about scaling up, because the printers themselves, we make them around, we make them in-house. Only a few, maybe one or two electronic devices like the screens is what we import. But apart from that, everything else we make it around, from the filament, from the e-waste 3D printers. Yeah, so it's something that it's doable around.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. The only thing that we're also working on is to scale up on the filament.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe to add on to that as well, normally what you do if you want to give guidance to 3D prototyping and printing services, you actually do what you call a user requirement analysis. You get to the client requesting for that service. You actually analyze what they need to do and what way they want to apply it, and then you actually create a program centered around that particular area of application. So that, because with 3D printing, the good thing is that it's so flexible and so customized. It's not really a one size fits all. Probably what is the same is the necessary steps and procedures into giving you that guidance. But the solutions is to 3D prototyping is really customized and specific to the client. So that user requirement analysis is quite key in understanding the scope and what you intend to do. And that helps you now to give you the whole picture of what you can achieve and what you can get around that.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we've kind of rolled on to 40 minutes, so I think it's time we drew to a close. But we've had 43 people so far participate, so that's fantastic. So can I firstly thank the speakers, Dennis, Farai, and Faith for speaking. Thank you very much for participating. It's great to have you, and we're very honoured that you can share your time with us and your opinions and your experience. Thank you very much to the participants who've watched. This will be available after the presentation, so you'll be able to do that. So please do log on afterwards. And please do also keep an eye out for our future webinars that we'll be running in the future. We're looking to run them every week. We'll be communicating kind of next topics with people, so we hope to welcome you back in the future. But finally, Dennis, Farai, and Faith, thank you very much. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to hopefully staying in touch after all this is over. And to everyone out there, stay safe, stay healthy. We look forward to seeing you in due course at hopefully one of our physical events rather than online, which I think is where we all like to be.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Farai, and thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.